Hi and welcome back to class of Product Development and Entrepreneurship. I am Hitesh Raiyani, Assistant Professor at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. This is lecture 30, issue related to product development and entrepreneurship. The learning outcomes of these lectures is to learn the intellectual property rights and the licensing and franchising. So whatever the issues related to the product development and entrepreneurships, or you can say that when you do the any innovations or developing the new products or modifications of new products, which are the issues related to that product development and entrepreneurship that we learn in these lectures. So let's start our lectures with intellectual property rights. So first you have to know that what is intellectual property. So the terms intellectual property is nothing but the legally protectable ideas, concepts, name, design and the process associated with a new product. So when you develop a new products, the concepts of new products, the designs of new products and the process associated with new products is nothing but the intellectual properties. And if you look at that intellectual properties, it is the one of the most valuable asset of the firm. So unlike the physical properties, we cannot secure these intellectual properties by the lock and key. So to prevent the unwanted transfer of intellectual properties, we have to use the or we have to claim the legal mechanisms. So therefore legal mechanisms have been developed to protect the rights of intellectual property owners. So whatever the intellectual properties owners rights can be protected by the legal mechanisms. So there are the four, here I shows the taxonomy of types of intellectual property, and it is relevant to the product development. Here if you look at the taxonomy of types of intellectual property rights, you can see that here in intellectual properties there are the mainly four types. First is the patent, second is the trademark, third is the copyrights, and fourth is the trade secret. So if you look at the patent, there are the basically three types in patents: utility patents, design patents, and patents plans. So you can see that here in third you can also the patent for the new plant, and in design patents ornament designs only can be done for the patent. So for that patents it is required formal applications to register the patent. And if you look at the second intellectual properties, here there are the trademarks. So trademark is what? Trademark is nothing but the words or symbol or combinations of word and symbols which is used for the brand or company products. So here I shows the trademark symbols, and next things is the copyrights. So in copyrights, this is used for the original work of expressions. So to protect the original work of expressions, copyright is used. So if you look at the trademark and copyrights, both may be registered, but it is not necessary to register. So next is the trade secret. So trade secret is nothing but the secret of any materials or any process regarding products or any combinations in particular products. These all are the secret for the companies. and it is not required to register it, so there are no need to register for the trade secret. But this trade secret can be get by the trade secret, the company owners get the advantages in competitions. So these are the intellectual properties. So let's we start learn one by one. So first is the patent. So what is patent? So patent is nothing but the temporary monopoly which is granted by government to an inventor to exclude others from using an innovation. So it is the temporary monopolies. Whatever the invention done by the inventors, it is protected by the patent. So others cannot be used these inventions. And for the most engineering goods, if you consider here the two types of basic patents. First is the design patents and utility patents, as we seen in taxonomy of intellectual property rights. And there are also the third type of patents which covers the plants. So there are also third patents which also cover the plants. And next is the design patents. So design patents provide the legal right to exclude someone from producing and selling of a product. So design patents can protect legal rights of producing and selling of products. So others cannot be, or someone cannot be producing or selling the product of the particular company. And a design patent can be thought of as a copyright for the ornamental design of a product. So it is just as a copyrights of the ornamental design of product. Next thing is the utility patents. So utility patents is the inventions which is related to the new process, machines, articles of manufacture, compositions of matters, or a new and useful improvement of one of these things. So whatever the inventions done either in new process, machines, articles of manufacture, or compositions of matters, these all things are patented, and that is nothing but the utility patent. So these categories include almost all inventions embodied by the new product. So whatever the inventions in your new product regards any process or articles of manufacture or compositions of metals, these all things are covered in or protected by the utility patent. And next thing is the trademark. So trademark is nothing but the specific name or symbol or combinations of these both. Names as well as the symbols. So it is the an exclusive rights and granted by the government to the trademarker owners to use this specific name or symbol in associate with the class of product or service. So you also seen that here I also shows the some trademarks of different companies, and you that trademark shows the what is, it is nothing but the symbolic names and names or symbols, specific names and or symbols which is associated with the class of products or service. So by that symbols you can identify the class of products or the service. So in the contents of product development, trademark are typically brand or product names. So if you look at the particular product development, trademark is nothing but the brand or product names. Next thing is the trade secret. So trade secret is the information used in a trade or business. So whatever the informations you use in your trade or business, that is that must be kept secret to get the competitive advantages. So trade secret is nothing but the information used in a trade or business that offers its owner a competitive advantages, and that can be kept secret. So you also some awareness that any XYZ companies, there are the secret of particular designs or manufacturing process or the contents of particular products or the assembly process of particular product. These all things are kept secret to get the competitive advantages, and that is nothing but the trade secret. Next is the copyright. So copyright is what? Copyright is an exclusive rights granted by a government to copy and distribute an original work of expression. So it is nothing but the exclusive rights granted by the government to copy. So whenever you use the product which under the product or any content which is under the copyrights, you have to mention the original source of that particular content to so that shows that the original work of expressions. And original work of expressions can be either can be it is literatures, graphics, music, art, entertainment, or software. Anything can be under the copyrights, and when these all things are under the copyrights, you cannot use that particular work of expressions without the permissions or without the referencing. So the registrations of copyright is possible, but it is not necessary. So it is not compulsory to make the registrations for the copyrights. So next is the licensing and franchises. So what is licensing and what is franchises, and what is the difference between licensing and franchises, that will be learned. So licensing is nothing but the permission to use the intellectual property rights. So whatever the intellectual property rights that have to given the permissions to improve the probabilities and expand the opportunities, subjected to contractually agreed terms and conditions. So you know that you have to if you look at any particular software, you can take the licensing of that particular software. That is nothing but the permission to use that software, and software companies get the probabilities, and this all the licensing is done by the contractual agreement, either it is terms of 1 month, 1 year, 6 months, etc. So there are the terms and conditions, and this is nothing but the permission to use the ITR. And what is franchising? So franchising is the permission to use the proven business systems, or you can say the business model. So it is nothing but the permission to use the proven business models or business systems. So whatever the established business models or business systems that can be used as, or you can say the replicate that models, you can use that models. So it is nothing but the permission to use the proven business systems to replicate success. So here the franchisors gives the franchises to any XYZ, and that the purpose is to get the permissions to use the proven business models. So here I show the difference between franchising and licensing. So if you consider the first terms, that is governed by, so the franchises is governed by the regulatory framework, while in licensing there are the contract law. If you look at the registrations rights for franchises, there are required to registrations, and for licensing there are not required to licensing. And territorial rights, if you look at that is offered to a franchisee in franchising, and in licensing it is not offered. If you look at the supports and training, there are in franchising, the training and supports provided by a franchisor. And if you look at the licensing, generally in licensing, the training and supporting is not provided in licensing. So this is the difference between franchising and licensing. So in these lectures, we learn the whatever the issues related to the product development and entrepreneurship. In this, we learn the what is the intellectual property rights and what is the licensing and franchising. Thank you.